Welcome to the Lesbian Romantic Podcast. This is Waking Up is Easy, Part 12. Chapter 10. In Chapter 8, I focused on the people who, together, created a story that will outlast all of our lives. In this chapter, I want to address the cultural climate we created together, which will most likely outlast us even more. I have no choice but to stay brief, even though my analysis could easily be a book on its own right. Perhaps I will write that book next. For now, let's focus on what happened when three of the most important people in this story chose to disappear. Ellie Harkin went into hiding after her strange interview on the Mo podcast. Or, as she put it, she went underground. Harkin said she would release new material soon after, but she did not. This soon started a new wave of conspiracy theories. Usha moved to an undisclosed location, helped by the Quiet Peace Coma Center staff, to temporarily hide from protesters, aggressors, and admirers. This, too, started a new wave of conspiracy theories. Last, but not least, Catherine Halifax, the therapist, also disappeared after a walk in the woods and wasn't heard from for days, adding fuel to the fire. And again, this, too, started a new wave of conspiracy theories. It would be too easy to blame Ellie, Catherine, or the Coma Center staff for the escalation of the frenzy. Anyone living in a different age would conclude it was wise for them to disappear into the shadows and reassess what was to be done. But our present culture cannot tolerate the longing for peace and quiet. And so, when these three women went into hiding, thousands and thousands of people online decided they needed to be found. So did the mainstream media. The life stories of Ellie, Catherine, and Usha were now no longer their own. They would be forever shaped by the thousands of people who took an interest in them and who demanded to know everything so they could pass their judgment. Windfall, a small, charming town at the foot of a mountain, and the home of the Quiet Peace Coma Center and its therapist, Catherine Halifax. This morning, we talked to numerous locals about one of their most famous, or should I say infamous, neighbors. Honestly, I don't know her very well. I know she lives with one of our locals, but I haven't seen her around much at church or anything. It's pretty crazy what's happening because of her. It hasn't been this bad here since Pokemon. Oh, her. Good thing you showed me that picture. Sure, she always seemed like a nice lady, pretty quiet, you know. I talked to her a few times at the grocery store, I think. Sure, she's nice. But, you know, she's not really from around here. Yeah, she often eats at this diner. She moved here a couple of years ago, so she's pretty new here, but you know, she's part of our community now. She and her partner have always supported our business, and I appreciate that. My family has lived here for generations. I haven't heard of hers, to be honest. Isn't she from the city? I have seen her. We're a very community-focused town. We know who has been around. You know? I remember thinking about how much I was feeling. This was back in the car with Audrey's ex, by the way. But I wasn't feeling anything about the ex. I mean, I was feeling so much about everything. Every time I thought of something, tears filled my eyes. It was like a proverbial dam had broken. My nerves felt frazzled. My emotions felt free to take over whenever they liked. I had seen this in patients often, but I had never let myself get to this point. Once you've reached the tipping point, you can no longer sort through your emotions. Old pain becomes new pain, and new pain is part of the old. You realize it is all one big mess. So, as I sat there in the car, I realized I would never be able to deal with the pain of losing my quiet and safe life without facing some of my old pain. I knew that I had to look at what had made me into a recluse in the first place. I don't know where these insights kept coming from, by the way. Many people who know Usha credit the changes in their lives to her wisdom. I'm not sure that I do. Not entirely, at least. Anyway, I can't share where Audrey's ex took me. I promised her I wouldn't tell anyone. It's a safe house she uses. Okay, you know what? Let's just not discuss it at all. It doesn't really matter anyway, because I didn't stay there long. I soon infuriated Audrey and her ex by leaving. But that is a story for another day. Instead, today, I want to share with you how I ended up in a small apartment with Usha. Okay, no, more like the first steps I took to get there. Because it wasn't easy. It took a few tries for me to reach Maya. And when I did, she was angry with me for disappearing from the hotel earlier that day. It was early evening by then. I remember watching the golden light of the sun on the tree leaves. Come on, Maya. Catherine, I can't do this right now. Please, just stay put and wait. Don't tell anyone where you are. Maya ordered me when she finally answered her new phone. No, I can't do that, I argued with her. I need to be there for the families. I was lying. I meant I needed to be there for Usha. I mean, I also wanted to be there for the families. I really did. But that's not why I was calling Maya. I knew it. And she knew it. The last thing those families need right now is more attention and more scrutiny, Maya replied with a heavy sigh. I already had to deal with Arthur's mom. Please don't make my day even worse. What? I asked, surprised. Genevieve Pelletier showed up at the center to take Arthur elsewhere. You're kidding, I said, for a lack of a better way to respond. Maya sighed tiredly. Do I sound like I'm kidding? It was an absolute circus. She was furious. I'm sorry, I said quietly, feeling the weight of responsibility on my shoulders. I think it's all my fault. Maya didn't reply, so I continued. Audrey sent me Ellie Harkin's videos, and I should have told you about her right away, I shared in agony. None of us could have stopped this, Maya interrupted. But yeah, a heads up sure would have been nice. I'm sorry, I said again. I'm a little embarrassed to admit that I thought about my job then. If Pelletier was furious and Arthur was gone, did that mean her money was gone too? Luckily, I didn't ask Maya. Things were bad enough as they were. Why was everyone evacuated? I asked after a long moment of silence in which I heard Maya sigh twice. I honestly worried that she would hang up on me at any moment. It was time to get to the point. Bomb threats. What? Are you kidding me? I wish I was. Wait, did you say threats? As in plural? Threats, as in a dozen or so. Oh my God, I gasped, covering my mouth. I'm surprised we got everyone out safely, Maya continued. The police had to call in backup from the city, but we got it done, and we mostly kept everyone's faces out of the media. I shook my head in disbelief. That crazy child's interview on that Mo podcast was a blessing in disguise. Most of the loonies were focused on that for an hour. I wonder if you, the listener, are asking yourself, but what happened to Usha? Where did Usha go? Because that is what I was worrying about, of course. I had to bite my lip to stop myself from asking about her. The world has gone crazy, I babbled instead. I know every generation thinks this, but surely this is different. What is happening to humankind? We seem to get less and less human. I know, a bit over the top. I do have a point, you know. Just look around. I don't know. Maya sighed desperately. I don't know. Maplewood is the largest city near Windfall, and this is where Catherine Halifax grew up, graduated, and started her practice as a psychologist. I'm standing right outside the building where she used to welcome clients. Can we find out more about this mysterious therapist here? I was never a client of hers. I'm the receptionist here, but she was very friendly. I feel like she was loved by her clients. I would sometimes see her walk them out, and it was just the energy, you know? Catherine, of course I know her. She worked in this building for years before she moved out of town. How is she doing? I never got her number, and she sort of disappeared on us. One day she was here, and the next. I did end up asking Maya about Usha, and I will get to that soon. First, I feel like I have not explained well what it was that drove me to find her. It's important because I am sure that if I had felt differently, there might not be a movie about my romance with Usha. Yes, I said romance. I mean, it's not a surprise for you as a listener, right? You know Usha and I will get involved. If we had not, again, perhaps no story, no movie, no book. People love a good romance story, it seems. I was never a fan. You're probably waiting to hear about our first kiss or something. Or more. I mean, I actually got emails about this. One person asked when there was finally going to be sex in the podcast. Can you imagine? Anyway, I'm afraid you'll have to wait a bit longer for all that. If you want that kind of stuff right now, there are enough other podcasts and websites to get your needs met. I'm here to tell a different type of story. Are you sure you want to do this, Catherine? You sound a bit belligerent. I mean, it's your audience, and they can listen to anything in the world. Do you really want to lecture them? Look, I'm not here to satisfy people's fantasies. I thought I made that very clear from the start. The world doesn't need another simplified version of this story. I know. And it doesn't have to be that explicit. Just, can you add a little tease here and there? People want to hear about you and Usha. I mean, you can't blame them, right? You were both Don't you dare finish that sentence. I will walk out of here and stop this podcast recording. Catherine, this is feedback from your people. My people? Yeah, like LGBTQ plus women? We've got some emails from them too, you know. You have to trust us on this, Catherine. We're a podcast production company. It's our business to know what people want. Don't you want this podcast to be a success? So, you're saying they want sex? I wouldn't want to put it that bluntly. Just, right, a tease here and there. Yes, for now, as we build up to the big moment. The big moment. Okay, never mind. Let's just talk about why and how you ended up in the apartment with Usha. Right. I went looking for Usha because I wanted to help her cope. I wanted to feel useful. And, I'll admit it, I could not handle her abrupt disappearance from my life. I was still addicted to her, even though briefly it seemed like I hadn't been any longer. As I said before, it is one thing to wake up. It is another thing to stay awake. I still carried the pain that made me hide in a coma center. And now, I also had this new pain of being dragged out of it. It's already a long episode, so I'll get to my cliffhanger. The day after my conversation with Maya, I was on my way to a small apartment in a town not far from ours, where Maya and the police had hidden Usha away from the world. This was part 12 of Waking Up is Easy. Thank you again to all the supporters around the world, and thank you for being here and spending time with me. I know times are tough for many of you out there, and so I know not everyone can or wants to support, and that's why there is this free feed. But if you are able to and willing to, and you feel like my work has some meaning to you in some way, please consider subscribing today and supporting the podcast. All right, that is it for this episode. I will see you again here on the free feed in 2 weeks. And sooner on Patreon. You can become a free member as well, by the way. That does also have its perks. So go to patreon.com/lesbianromantic for more. See you soon.